Question: why does it make you happy when other people are sad, frustrated, and angry? Tell you why. Even though, we should all feel good all the time and just have some nice crystal energy and be all positive and stuff. Fucking toxic positivity. No, we should have great grief over the collapse of civilization. We should feel sad about that because it's a very sad thing. We have fucked up as an organism. And there's going to be great pain that people will experience. That is not a good thing. So it's fine to be sad about it. And it's fine to be frustrated because there is nothing that can be done. I've thought a lot about it. And I see absolutely no way, no option for us to get ourselves out of the trap we put ourselves in. No government has any power to change it. If they tried to reduce people's energy use, they'd be removed immediately. Consumers just want to keep consuming and blame billionaires and corporations. Nobody's going to do shit. I will, but no one cares. And I'm failing to survive, so that's a different thing, I guess. So the frustration is there. If you were actually successfully able to change anything, you better keep that quiet. Because there's going to be people who do not like that. And I'm happy that I'm not the only frustrated person. I feel a little less alone. More people have gotten frustrated. COVID was a wake-up call for some people about how shit actually functions. That's a good thing. And there's some people who are angry. They're angry with the system that we've made. They should be angry with themselves too. There's really not a lot of point in picking out who the enemy is. The question is, who is making solutions? How do we make physical and cultural lifeboats, pockets of life, pockets of DNA, the best plants in the world for food forest farming, the best pockets of knowledge on how to do things, create things, with the great scientific knowledge we have now that we didn't have before? We should be able to build a far better world than we ever had in the primitive worlds we had before what we call civilization. We can do better if anyone lives at all. Now it's true, if we do so bad that we tip the scales on the oceans and they die, we all die anyway. In fact, it's quite likely we all die anyway. So go through your stages of grief on that. Certainly get past denial. If you're in a state of denial about it, go study. Go look at the future. It's not hard to see. If you can think at all and learn. I don't know what the other stages are. But it's, at the end of it, I don't think it's acceptance. Because there may be something left of humans. And for some weird reason, I don't know why I care, but I hear my dogs barking because I trapped them in a house. And they realized they don't get to go to town. Because I didn't want that many dogs going with me. So the final stage is acceptance of death, acceptance of collapse, acceptance of extinction. Which, we're all going to die anyway. Eventually the sun will blow up, too. And as individuals, we all die, so accept it, just get over it. However, if things are going to get shitty, which they will, and billions will die. Some may live if we don't kill the oceans, etc. And so we have an opportunity with a fairly clear vision. I think we can have a very clear vision about a utopian world. A world full of life again, where the oceans once again have so much life that people are afraid to sail on them. You know? But with the knowledge, retaining the knowledge that we have, and the cultural understanding that we don't have to be imprisoned by the ancient cultures we evolved to be in, but we can actually get along and act in very different ways. The expression of the individual within the culture can be much freer, and we don't have to kill every other fucking group of people who's different than us. We could get along. We could live in places that are nice climates. We could use architecture that doesn't need energy to stay comfortable. We're just surrounded by amazing solutions. Absolutely surrounded. And that's all I can come up with for an optimistic view that gets us out of sadness, frustration, and anger. I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm angry. And if you're not angry because it's not pretty, well, that's a terrible thing. Because there is so much injustice and horrible things going on in the world. You know, if the idea of slavery ever angered you, look at the fucking world today and how many people are enslaved, and it's damn near everybody. That angers the hell out of me. Should anger you. And anger leads to action. And I'm not saying we should fight the system as it is, because you'll lose. And we are that system. But I'm saying we can build an alternative now. If nothing else, it's something to do. Even if it's pointless. Even if it doesn't really matter that we tried. Because we all die anyway. I think it's a better lifestyle if we start to live healthy now. It's better for the individuals. It's better if we figure out our communication problems so we actually have friends and family that we trust and love. So that our time, the short time we have in our life, can be used in a way that feels fulfilling and hopefully is a lot of work. I'm not saying, give up at all. And some people have said that because I moved out to the woods. Like, oh, you're running away from everything and you don't care about anyone. And all this kind of, people say all sorts of dumbass shit no matter what you do. But what I've tried to do is remove myself as part of the problem. And I've thought and experimented for years about, okay, well, how are we going to implement solutions? That's what's going to matter is what can we build? And you, where you're at, don't have a lot of choices necessarily. We are all trapped in systems, right? And so I have the luxury of no longer being trapped in a day-to-day system, and that is absolutely fantastic. Although I'm still trapped by reality, which is how shit goes. So you're trapped and you can't do anything. That's not true. It's not true that you're so trapped. One is you can be kind to other people and you can see that we're all in the same boat together. Even the people that are also the problem. After you've seen that you yourself are part of the problem, don't try and blame everybody else. Look at your own interactions with it and at least start to be kind to the other people around you so that we're not just a bunch of slaves, house slaves, and even the masters. Even the masters are trapped. The freaks that you could blame because they're billionaires. It's like, they're not a problem, and the money's fake. It's bullshit. They have the same problems everybody else has. It's not the same problem set as you have exactly. If they have a medical problem, it'll be taken care of. There's lots of reasons to think that's the only problem. And I am all in favor of removing the corruption, the corrupt systems that cause inequity. You know, I just listened to a guy, a book by Bernie Sanders. I listened to an audiobook. I agreed with a lot of what he said, but, you know, he thinks unions fix things. You know, let's have another form of government to oppress us. And it's like, no, we need to look at getting rid of the fundamental structures that cause the inequity, not how we can redistribute wealth but while keeping the same system. He's very much a system kind of guy. He's pro-system. I mean, I loved what he said, a lot of it in the book. I mean, it was really radical. He'll never get anywhere close to any form of power because he would be an absolute threat to it. But the solution set, and I have to go actually read his book, not just listen to it. It was fun to listen to. But I would actually have to go through and see what my points of disagreement are so I could have those in a more intelligent way. I liked his frustration. I liked a lot of his message. I don't like his solution set. Because I want solution sets that are absolutely decentralized, absolutely freedom-oriented, that remove the connection from large structures that he probably thinks can help us. But I believe people can help themselves. But they have to have the freedom to do that. And that may require, you know, big changes about the way we deal with land ownership, for example. You know? I mean, he does talk a little bit about that, actually. But the money part's irrelevant. Money is fake. Land is real. Real estate. And the productivity of land and our relationship with land and food, those are things that matter. And so I don't want to fall for false solutions, and they're almost all false. It has to be very basic. It has to be very individual. It has to be families. It has to be people in relationship with land, and those are the people who own their land, and they're keeping the value produced by the land. And as I've said, you know, when you talk about politics, I've said your politician should be close enough to hit with a rock. I'm not going to go throwing any rocks at people, but I think the option should be there. Oh, I'm all worked up. I gotta relax. Relax, be mellow, and take action. Even if it's just being kind to people around you. Even though they don't deserve it, and we don't either. Love, happiness. Jeez, I'm a damn hippie. I need some pot. They haven't finished legalizing it yet in this country, which is so annoying. They were supposed to, but they didn't. I'll go get a beer, and that won't help. But then I'll get back to work again. And I'll keep trying to crystallize my thoughts, communicate them better, and put them into action, and gather people this year. It's a new year now, 2024, yay. Another opportunity to watch the year go by as I don't solve the world's problems. But I can make some kind of progress, and I feel ambitious. And I feel pretty crystal clear on what I think the solution paths are. And I know a lot of wrong ways I could go, and I'll try and avoid those. Good luck to you. I know that it's hard to know what to do. And I can't tell you what to do. Your situation is likely so different than mine, and your value set and your interest and your skills are all different. But you can do it because there isn't anything else you can do. I mean, you could kill yourself, and you're going to suffer either way. Whether you try and you struggle or you don't, you're going to suffer. But we're stuck in some slavery that we could get out of. We do not have to live the way we do. And the problem is that we are complicit in continuing the systems of our own oppression. Got to see the chains and break free of them. Oh, it's gorgeous out and pretty clouds and stuff. It's very nice. Got to find some way to enjoy life too. Great desperation leads to great creativity. And I'm desperate and creative. Good luck to you, seriously. We're going to need it.